Imagine you're just casually walking through a mall, minding your own business, and maybe you step into an LV store to, admire some overpriced bags that you probably won't even buy. And suddenly, a woman walks in, goes straight up to the saleswoman, and starts yelling at her for calling her husband daddy. And next thing you know, they almost get into a fight with the entire mall watching from the sidelines. So this crazy situation went down in Anhui province in China at this luxury mall where most of our, beloved rich socialites go to, called Yintai Center. And on the evening of October 23rd, a woman named Yu Han, we'll just call her Yu, entered a Louis Vuitton store. She goes straight up to the saleswoman behind the counter, no small talk, reaches in her bag, and pulls out 2 passports. She shows the saleswoman the 2 photos, and the first thing she says is, "First of all, we are legally married, sis." Now you might be wondering, what does that have to do with anything with the sales lady there? Like, she's just working another, Tuesday afternoon. But it's clear in a sec. Yu pulls out WeChat conversations between her husband and the saleswoman. Before we begin, let me confirm, this is my husband you're playing with. And at this point, the saleswoman is just standing there completely shocked. Like, she just blue screened for a moment. She has no idea what's going on and like what she's hearing, supposedly. So, she tries to stay calm, right? But Yu then starts reading the messages between her and her husband out loud. And she goes ahead and says, "Why do you call him daddy?" Out loud, with shoppers around and her coworker just standing there like, "Excuse me?"
因为本来也没有见过几次面，也就听到这么问，没有任何问题啊，没有任何问题。那你好贱哦，没有任何问题就要管人叫爸爸，没有任何问题就要开好房间，要等人家去是吗？你这么缺男人，
房间好吗？
房间号都在这，房间都开好了。
你有任何问题，我们可以出去说。
不行，你们不好使，凭什么？
The employees nearby literally turned their heads so fast, like they heard a gunshot. You then proceed to start exposing the saleswoman about how she was booking hotels with her husband, acting affectionate and flirting with him. And the saleswoman really tried to defend herself like, "I didn't properly book the room though." So she knows what's going on. But I didn't properly book the room, so that's an excuse? Oh, my bad. I only cheated halfway. Meanwhile, Yu is like, "Oh really?" She starts pulling out more receipts showing the hotel room number, the repeated daddy messages, and these not so family friendly pictures that she was sending him. Now, how did Yu even find out? Like, how does she randomly think that this saleswoman right here in this LV store at this mall was the culprit of an affair? Well, the night before this, her husband came home drunk. And this man left his phone unlocked. So Yu goes through his phone and finds the entire WeChat history, screenshots everything, and pulls up to the LV store the next day like it's a courtroom. And taking a look at one of these chats, oh my god, this is absolutely gold. "Okay, my girlfriend made this, thank you." And then he's like, "What's wrong? Can't she cook? I think cooking is an art and I really enjoy it. Haha, I guess I'm just destined to be a busybody." Now you would think that in such a luxury etiquette mall, in an LV store, people buying thousands of dollars worth of bags, I'm sure personal matters, let's go outside and talk it out. The saleswoman tries to escape the situation, but no, Yu literally chases after her, holds her down. It's clear that she's not gonna let this end quietly. So she reaches out and directly grabs the saleswoman by the collar. Full 5-finger grip near the neck like she's about to put her in a chokehold. The staff immediately rush in to try to separate them, but she's got this woman in like a full collar lock. Like, she ain't getting away. At this point, it's just one wrong move from turning this into a public fight inside an LV store. She wanted everyone to see. It slowly started becoming a public execution, but for your reputation and your job. The other LV workers were surrounding the crowd like, "Guys, please calm down. Take this personal matter elsewhere." Sorry. So Yu then starts reading every little detail, every single text in the middle of the mall with an audience like watching from every angle. Like, people were recording. There was a kid in a stroller sitting there also enjoying this moment as well. And looking at the messages, things go downhill pretty fast. Yu shouted, "My husband said he was daddy," and Yu replied with, "Hello, daddy. I want to hug you."
我以为你不想要我了，或者有其他的小妹妹你不得手，
对。
爸爸现在只有你，那以后呢？我上哪儿结婚呀？我孤独终老了，我不会再结婚了。那你是我的什么？他讲的他讲我是你爸爸。你说爸爸好，我想抱抱你。
是跟他聊骚是我的不对，他也没有跟我说过跟他的感情生活怎么样的，我以为他们之间就是没有任何情况在，知道吗？
就没有任何感情了，你还问人家？你真的太能说谎了，我的妈，真的是。
And she hits her with the real question. Didn't you know that he had a wife? And the saleswoman said, I knew, but he said he wanted to divorce you. May this love never find any of us.
难道你不知道他有老婆吗？
有，他说一直要跟你。
And taking a look at one of these other messages, you don't even need to call me anymore, and you don't need to reply to messages even if you're busy. You can just coax her. If you're so capable, why don't you stay home and video chat with her every day? You've been trying to make her happy lately, haven't you? Every time you're all over the house, the tap water across the street turns cold. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what I call poetry. And suddenly, another player enters the domain now, unwillingly. The saleswoman said, okay, say whatever you want. Yes, I talked to him. Yes, it's my fault. But go find him. He has a problem too. So, you did exactly that. She calls up the husband. In the mall, in front of everyone, in front of the kids. Let's verify this real quick. The husband answers, and you ask him, did you ever tell this woman that we are getting a divorce? He said, no. And before anything else can settle down, the saleswoman snatches the phone and says, Jiang Jiawei, the husband, get over here right now and deal with your problem.
你是跟他讲我们已经离婚了，还是要离婚了？
这样
没有是吗？他撒谎对吗？是不是？这是你自己说的，是不是？他讲了你勾引他是吗？
蒋家伟，你要过来你就过来，你不要来搞我，好吧？
I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? That was way too comfortable. That did not sound like a we barely know each other kind of tone. Now, instead of throwing hands, which I kind of, hoped would happen, Yu does a calculated move. She turns to the crowd. Yes, the crowd, because at this point, it's a live audience. And then she proceeds to say, I will start divorcing him tomorrow. I will deal with that scumbag. But you are not going to have a good time. Yeah, that was a warning and a threat. Also, if anybody here wants the chat logs, I'll email them to you. Chef's kiss. And something even more amazing happens. The saleswoman switches up and says, I already deleted all of his contacts. This is all his fault. Oh, did you now? Yu pulls up her text that she sent that same morning. So she didn't even delete his contact at all.
不联系，连微信都不删，
早就删了好吗？
早就删了，真不要脸！你是真不要脸！早上我刚拿他的手机发了照片，知道吗？还打开你的朋友圈还看的，你们还聊天了，知道吗？昨天下午聊的天，知不知道？
And the husband, don't get it twisted, he ain't no innocent man either. He was a participant because the screenshots showed him saying things like, no wonder you have such good sales. Now, one thing that really set people off was the saleswoman's attitude. She didn't act remorseful at all. Yeah, she said sorry one time, but then she kept repeating, I already said sorry. What more do you want? I guess there's not much she could do here, but I definitely would not try to provoke you any further, especially when her sharp nails are just centimeters away from your neck. Also, they were eating this up. Is the service really this good? If no one calls me mom when I go to a luxury store next time, I won't buy anything. That's brand premium. If you wear Jack and Jones, no girl will call you dad. Just tell them to get lost. And once the video got posted to Douyin, Kuaishou, and Xiaohongshu, everything went to flames. It's over because Chinese netizens, they dig deep harder into you than the FBI. And within 24 hours, they found the identity of the husband. At first, everybody, thought this guy was rich because, what is he doing at LV store buying all these bags for his wife, right? Yeah, turns out he wasn't rich. This man was actually working as an errand runner for a hostess club owner. He's basically doing tasks for other people with his boss's money to buy these LV bags. So now the whole situation flips because this guy used his boss's money, bought LV bags, acted rich, flirted with the saleswoman, and helped that saleswoman boost her commission while also buying things for his wife. This is a generational moment here. So you're not even cheating as a rich man, you're cheating on borrowed money. Some netizens supported you, saying that she handled this boldly. She didn't back down and she exposed everything about the saleswoman. Others were like, why air all of this into such a public scene? Why not just confront the husband first? Get that out of the way first. And both sides are valid, but let's be real. If she handled it privately, we wouldn't be getting this absolutely juicy story here. So a couple days later, netizens started looking for the saleswoman's social media. And of course, they found it. On her WeChat account, photos of her and another man, like relationship photos. And now everyone's like, wait, is she married as well? So now she's potentially a wife and a cheater. People dug even deeper and they found out that her husband was actually also a cheater. So let me get this straight. You experience getting cheated on and then you decide to cheat with someone else. She essentially became the one thing she hated most. This, ladies and gentlemen, is character undevelopment. And netizens also found old posts of her talking about how being a mistress is horrible, cheating is bad, you have to be loyal in relationships. I don't know what to say. So after everything blew up, Louis Vuitton themselves suspended her, and then a couple days later, she officially resigned. Which makes sense because, I mean, there's no way you're going back to selling bags like, hi, welcome to LV. What kind of bag does your husband like? And netizens found this Douyin account of this influencer who does live stream selling. They put 2 and 2 together and it clicked. The first thing that came up immediately was her doing these live stream e-commerce product showcases and I mean dropping like 8 sales videos in just 5 days. At this point, she was trying her best to like just rebrand herself, all while like at the same time ignoring that massive affair accusation that happened in the middle of a mall. I mean, people were skeptical at first. In one of the live streams, they were like, is that you? That's it. The power of the internet is too great. Call daddy. And moving over to you, a couple days later after the incident, she starts a live stream to answer questions. The stream pulled in thousands of viewers where she explained her side of the story, and I mean, watching her cry and break down like this honestly breaks my heart. You says that she's moving on with the divorce, no hesitation at all, like no, let's try to fix this. Honestly, after everything we saw, yeah, there's nothing really there left to fix.
因为我去的时候，我就是想要解决事情，我只想听见他跟我说一声对不起，我错了，我不应该这样做。但是至始至终其实都没有。后来闹到外面了，所有的人都在了，开始说了，他说好，那我对你造成的伤害，我跟你说声对不起，可以了吗？如果是你们，你们该怎么做？离婚了，已经办理离婚手续了，就是怎么发现的？就是他喝多了，然后手机一直在亮，这个人一直在给他发信息，我就打开了。我们在一起5年多了，结婚3年，我不准备原谅，我可能会走得很慢，但是我会往前走。
Many netizens also assumed that Yu was an older woman, she was rich, and she was some like elite boss level CEO, mainly because of how confidently she like handled everything and exposed the saleswoman. But she says that she was born in 1993, she works in the beauty industry, and she's just a regular person. And after their identities were uncovered after the stream, the mall basically said, this is a private personal issue, we're investigating. And LV said, yeah, this has nothing to do with us. Which is fair because, I mean, this mall became known for the public cheating crash out landmark after that video. Now, saleswomen flirting with rich married men trying to infiltrate their wealth class and ruin their marriages, this is actually pretty common in China. I mean, you actually hear stories and sometimes videos about this everywhere, but it rarely gets this confrontational. Luxury sales involve personal connection, attention, and most importantly, loyalty. So there are many unrevealed cases out there where people overlook morals just to secure that bag. At the end of the day, I don't think this is worth it. Like, especially for the husband and the saleswoman, like eventually you're gonna get caught one day or another. And when you do get caught, it might come with a little bonus. You know, an unwanted viral video that has your name on social media headlines. If there's one thing to take away from this whole scandal, it's the fact that relationships built on lies, flirting, and daddy messages are gonna end up in disaster. And if they don't worry. Chinese netizens will finish the job.